So I'm starting my day. I just got some crazy news. My mortgage just went from $4,500 to $6,050, and it'll be effective March the 1st. I have never considered a bank, but I got this black hat and this black mask because, I mean, at this point, like, what the fuck do you expect? I'm trying to keep my kids in decent schools. I'm trying to, I mean, what the fuck do you expect?
That lady just said her mortgage went from $3,400 to $5,300 a month. Yeah, go and wrap this up. Go and wrap this right on up. I just earned myself a ticket on the next flight out over there to that farm with Wheelbarrow and Charlotte's Web. They better move on over.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your brother Yate, back at it again with another video. We usually talk about rent increases on apartments. Now we're about to talk about mortgage increases, because that is a thing too. Some people may not even know. Some people got in and didn't even know that their rate would fluctuate. Listen, family, you already know what to do. And if you're brand new too, thumbs up this video so YouTube can push this content out. Smash subscribe to join the tribe and ring the post notification bell as well. All right, let's get right into it.
They got me, y'all. And I knew they was going to get me, but I didn't know they was going to get me this hard. It's only been 6 months in this bitch. And my mortgage is going up $700. I knew it was going to be crazy because the previous owners, like the people who bought it to renovate it, they were only paying land value, even though the house had been on the market with this current rate and a current county appraisal for X amount of months. But I don't know, somehow they only were paying land value. And then I lost my ID twice. It took them 3 months to send me an ID right before the election. So I wasn't able to file my homestead exemption. And my escrow now has an overage of the amount that I owe in taxes, which is going to put my payment up $700. So yeah, hey. And I don't want this to discourage you from purchasing a home. It's just something to keep in mind. And I also knew this when buying, because my loan officer said that there was no real way for them to get an accurate, which, I mean, he kind of told me that it was going to go up, and it may have went up drastically, and this was going to, the way that they were doing it this year was so that I wouldn't feel the effects. But I would have rather been paying how much I was supposed to be paying all along, rather than have such a huge shortage. And he was even confused when looking at how much they were paying in taxes, because it hadn't even updated to what the home value is now. They were like paying maybe $2,000 in taxes a year for the home that I'm in. And that wasn't with homestead exemption. So I'm not sure how I ended up so much in the hole. Yeah.
My mortgage went up $1,000 and I am not okay. So let me tell you guys, for the longest time, people be screaming from the hilltop, home ownership is not it. Like, don't rush. And I will just be like, I don't understand it, because I'm literally chilling, like cheaper than rent. I was bamboozled. So let me tell y'all what they do not tell y'all about real estate. So they do an analysis every year from, at least with the mortgage that I got, right? And so they did an analysis, and basically my mortgage increased by $1,000. And I asked them why. And they were like, something about, my house is a new build. And so I guess they charged me for the taxes when it was just the land for 2 years. Then after year 2, they add the taxes with the house actually on it. And they were like, yeah, your builder is supposed to tell you. They didn't. They didn't. And so I asked them, can I sell the house? And they were like, there's no equity in it. You guys see me smiling, but come next month, I'm literally going to be in tears, because $1,000 extra a month, I legit want to move back home and live with my parents. But I don't have that option. I'm sick. Like, I'm sick. Honestly, don't buy a house if you're single. Like, buy a house when there's 2 incomes coming in, because baby, you gonna need it.
It really don't make sense to buy a house while you single if you don't got no kid either. It's just you running around, don't got no roommates, nobody in there with you. It's just you in there. Why do you need that much house? Like Tupac said. I think he said, like, what you need 9 rooms for is just you. What you need a big old house for is nobody in there. It's for bragging rights or for your potential future partner. Sometimes when you get a partner, y'all might want to design your dream house together or pick a house out together. I think it's just for bragging rights. Everybody in competition in America. Everybody want to compete with one another. People getting in debt to put that Facebook post up. Oh, look at my new house. I'm a homeowner. They want to post those keys. That's really what people do it for. They want to do this right here.
I'm a homeowner. Look at me.
Just so people can say congratulations. It really don't make sense, man. If you single, you might as well get an apartment. I know rents are high, but these increases are high too. And maintenance is high too. And if you're still in the rat race, you're really just working. You're not getting to enjoy that home that much. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. To each his own, though. Enjoy your life. Travel. I don't know. Live minimal. I feel like that's luxury to me. Living minimal, traveling more, being less stressed. Like, you less stressed when you don't have to worry about your finances.
Just got notification that my mortgage is going up for 2025. I knew that this was going to be happening, but I had been dreading the day that it does happen. And when my husband walked in tonight with a huge stack of mail, I just knew that this was sitting in there. Basically, last year, our homeowners insurance non-renewed us. Travelers, hate you. They non-renewed us. They said that we needed a new roof. They were using satellite photos to look at our roof. Nothing wrong with our roof, according to the home inspector that inspected our home, that we had come out and re-inspect our roof. Or the 3 roofing contractors that we called to get their professional opinion. Travelers Insurance basically said, nah, shove it. You need a new roof and we're dropping you as customers. Unfortunately, that when they do that, it like puts a bad rap on your name or whatever, like you're in probation almost. So we only have one singular homeowners insurance company right now that is willing to insure us, and it was to the tune of about $2,000 more than what we were paying, which is heartbreaking. But on a positive, we're allowed to have a trampoline without any additional costs incurred, which I guess is a win-win, right? And then our taxes went up in October. Coincidentally, just a few months after the community struck down a multi-million-dollar budget increase to the taxes. Community struck it down for a number of reasons, but primarily because every year for like the past 4 years, taxes have increased in the town that I live in. I do live in New Hampshire. We are one of the highest tax states out there, though I'm sure someone's going to tell me that their taxes are higher. We don't have income tax or sales tax, so that has to be recuperated through the tax of properties. And no, our governor will not legalize certain plants and tax those as a way to help make up the difference. Instead, it gets brought down to people like myself and my husband. Fortunately, myself and my husband are employed. We're not on a fixed income. Unfortunately, a lot of people in my community and other communities are on fixed incomes, and they cannot afford these consistent tax increases. So this is pricing people out of their homes, but that's okay. We have developers coming in from other states to build affordable housing. But the affordability is going to be affordable by like Boston and New York City standards. So it's going to cost you $3,600 for a 1-bedroom apartment. Can you tell? Can you tell that I am passionate about this topic? Back to the escrow. The escrow increased by $860.77 over the course of the year. So monthly, that's only about a $70 increase. It's not terrible. I don't love it, but we can make adjustments to make that work in our budget. So it starts in February. Wish me luck.
All right, so I keep seeing videos about people mortgages going up, and I was curious to figure out why, because nobody really explains why theirs went up. But typically, if you don't have enough money in escrow and your property tax increase, that's what's going to make your mortgage go up. And I know it's other reasons, but that's like the most typical one. So every time you get your property reassessed, like the value of your property, the property taxes will go up or down based off of the market. So if it increases, the property tax increases based off of your reassessment, then you'll more than likely have an increase in your payment. Now, if you're on like a fixed rate, they can't really increase it, I believe. But yeah, I think that's the reason why.
Like, I didn't know that when I was building a home that I was just gonna have to pay taxes off the land, and then when the home is actually built, then you gotta pay taxes on the actual home and the land, which increased my mortgage by $3,000. I didn't know that. So now my mortgage is increased by $3,000 from what I'm currently paying. You know, and plus you still got all these other expensive and stuff like that. I don't knock buying a home. I think the goal should always still buy a home, but you should be prepared to know what's to come. Like I say, if they would have told me like, hey, your tax is going to be based off of this number instead of this number in a year, no, that wouldn't have changed my decision. I still would have moved forward. But if they would have told me that, I would have been prepared and not, you know, look in the mail and be like, bro, who this for? You feel me? Who is this for? I know y'all ain't trying to increase my mortgage. And then the thing like that is like, you know, it's aggravating, because it's like, bro, you think I'm just about to allow you to bully me? I feel like I'm like y'all trying to bully me. Like, you think you just about to just get $3,000 extra out of me and no say so. But come to find out, this is how this junk is. So I wish I would have just known a little bit more. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't have changed my decision at all to you know, to build a home at all. I'm still thankful, thank the Most High that he, you know, blessed me and my family to be able to do so. I'm not complaining or anything like that. I'm very thankful, but I just wish I would have more prepared to that. But at the end of the day, it really don't matter, because guess what? You know, the house is going to be paid off. Like I say, I would never be victim of a situation. I'll always be a victor of anything. So they could try to increase whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter, because guess what? The house is about to be paid off anyways. So it really don't matter. But for the people that don't know, if you buy a home, make sure that you got all that information in place, the taxes, all that stuff, what the house going to be. Make sure you know all that stuff going into it, so you can be prepared, you know, and not be shocked when you look in the mail and be like, who the fuck? And then also the escrow, you got to know what's going on with the escrow, because if your escrow is short, now you got to pay this shortage thing that increase your mortgage as well. So if you could pay extra inside your escrow, make sure you could pay extra. Make sure you do so. If you just paying what's, you know, what the mortgage company got you set up with, 9 times out of 10, when that when your taxes and stuff go up, that escrow gonna go up and it's gonna cause a shortage. So be prepared for that. Just get educated all the way around with the buying experience. Just be educated, you know, so you can be prepared when you buy your home, purchase your home, build your home, whatever the case is. So pay attention to the taxes, the escrows. If you're in the HOA community, whatever the case is, just be prepared, you know. But that's not stopping us from buying and purchasing and building, nothing like that. Still build and buy and purchase. Let's go.
That's really the problem. Nobody educated. Everybody just jumping into it, it seems. Then they find out later, oh, I didn't know it was going to go up this amount. Or I didn't know it was going to go up at all. A lot of people like, I didn't even know it was going to go up. I thought I had a fixed rate. What's going on here? You know what I mean? Especially during the pandemic, a lot of people overpaid. They just jumped into housing, and they say like half of the people that got houses really regret it. They didn't do inspections, nothing. They just got in just to get in. Yeah, man, everybody got to educate themselves. Knowledge is power. But even if you do get a good deal and it's a house that you love, still be informed on the whole home buying process and what you are signing up for, so that you don't have unexpected expenses later down the line that you don't know how you're going to pay for. That's the best thing I could say. That's the best thing I could say. By the way, this is a bucket hat, y'all. This is a big bucket hat, right? But it look kind of crazy. So I'm wearing it like I'm a Texan.
My mortgage payment went from $1,600 to $3,500. This is all I have been seeing going on my timeline on TikTok right now, on how everybody's mortgage rates are increasing. Honestly, I can tell you what, when I first bought my house and I had a realtor, my realtor did not tell me anything. I bought the house. I didn't know what I was doing. I was not a realtor then, of course. And I did not learn about my payment until the closing day. I did not know how much my mortgage payment was going to be until the closing day. And I signed on a dotted line. At that point, for me, I was ready to buy a house. So I just felt like it was what it was. Unfortunately, my mortgage payment is $1,600, and it's still $1,600. But I guess my question is, for everyone's mortgage that's going up, like, I know it's a terrible situation, but also when you are purchasing your homes, are you not understanding what questions to ask your lender? Because you can always ask your lender when you go under contract on a home to show you what your monthly payment is going to be. Of course, it's going to be an estimate, but also at the closing table, when the attorney is going over how much you're going to pay for your mortgage, and they give you a piece of paper that has all your mortgages for however many ever years that you have to pay your mortgage for. At that time, when you're signing your papers, don't just sign the papers, just ask questions that you may have about your mortgage. Because once you sign and close on your home, that's your home. And then years down the line, you're looking at, you have to sell your home. So it's like unfortunate. Of course, property tax always goes up. So, I mean, that could be another question. When you're buying a home, ask about the property tax. Another thing that could kill you is incentives. Sometimes it's good to have incentives on new construction homes, but sometimes it's not, especially when you're doing the 2-1 buy down. Basically, when your interest rate is going to be one price for 1 year, it's going to go up the next year, and then it might go up the third year. Ask what your mortgage rate is going to go up to for the third year. You might can afford the house for year 1 and 2, but if you can't afford it for year 3, then what's the point of getting the incentive? Like, don't just go looking into a new construction because they're giving you $10,000 and they're giving you a 2-1 buy down, because you might be the next person where you're going to be saying, my mortgage payment was $1,500 and now my mortgage payment is $2,500 because my realtor didn't tell me this or the lender didn't tell me that. Like, you also have to do your own research when you're purchasing a home. I don't know, like, what questions do y'all have as far as purchasing a home, as far as property tax, as far as your mortgage going up? Like, you have to do your research, and you definitely have to ask questions before you sign on that dotted line, whether it's the day of closing and you have more questions for the lender, but you don't want to ask them because you're too excited. Always remember, you have to be the ones to pay the bills. Your lender doesn't have to pay the bill. Your realtor don't have to pay the bill. At the end of the day, you have to pay the bill, and you have to be the one out on the street. If you have to sell your house or what may have you, it might not even be worth selling your house, depending on how long you have been in your house. So you might not even have as much equity. But the tip of the day is, make sure you ask your lenders questions at the beginning and at the end. They always send out multiple disclosures of estimates for your mortgage. And also ask the closing attorney, because the closing attorney also goes over everything before you close on your new home.
My mortgage went from being $1,500 to over $4,200, and that's because I made the decision to move from Michigan to California to have better weather. And it's just so crazy to me because I'm not even in a house in California. I'm only in a condo. I did some calculations. If I was to buy a single family house that's even similar, like remotely similar to what my house in Michigan was, then my monthly mortgage would be over $10,000. And to get a house that's like kind of small, 3 bedrooms, maybe $1,500, my monthly mortgage would be over $7,000 in California. It's just wild to think how much more housing costs here, because in Michigan, it for $250,000, you can get yourself a really decent house. Like here, you can't even get something at a trailer park for that much in Southern California.
Now that one right there is a given. I'm from Michigan. You ain't even got to be from Michigan to know this. If you move to Cali, you're for sure paying more.
It's California, the city of robbery. Not only are they gonna rob you financially, they might rob you literally.
I don't know what I'm saying, but for real, that's all facts what I just said. If you want to move to California to get you a home, just know you paying more all along. I don't know. I don't overcomplicate nothing. I look at it from the basics and from a broad spectrum as well, but at the same time, you can't overlook the basics too. If I move to Cali, I'm for sure paying more. I got to know that. And if I got a house, I need to have some money saved up for a rainy day just in case, because it's going to be some unexpected costs too. So let me have some savings, some bands too, some thousands. That way when I'm hit with it, I'm like, I already knew this day would come. It might not come right away, but when it do come, you want to be prepared for it. That's all I'm saying. If y'all want to ask me, I don't even recommend getting no house in America. Babylon. It's a whole setup for failure, and it's a system that's falling. I don't know. I can say so much about it. I ain't even gonna do it. Y'all already know how I feel. Let me know how y'all feel.